So this is off the back of one of the most potent prophecies. Not even one of the most. I think this is the most potent prophecy in the entirety of the Quran. Not even the entirety of the Quran. Probably the most potent prophecy in the entire world, like ever made, in my opinion. And I'm glad when people try and say 86 is an error because this is like my favorite verse to exegete on. Right now, we'll start at 1 and you will see why I absolutely adore this verse. So, actually, let me pull up the extra lines as well. Hold on 1 second. Let me open a new page because I have like 8 trillion tabs open. Let's see here. YouTube. I'm sure that the rest of the people here have seen this little presentation of mine before, but we will do very well here. So let's see here. So let's see here.
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum salam.
وعليكم السلام biblical.
Um, okay. Okay. So I've pulled up all of the presentation sources. So, oh wait, actually I have one more. Let's see here. Okay. So, let's put that in order. And now we have everything in order. So, we're going to start at 1. So, actually, before we start at 1, sorry for this, but I will go to not numbers. Was it not numbers? No, Deuteronomy. And I mean, feel free to say that this is possible cap if you want to, because it is quoting from the Bible. But I just sometimes like to set this up as a premise. Let's see
You're
here.
good, man. Say whatever you want. I'm just here to interact with you, honestly. So
Yeah. So the reason
You see
why,
how problems is fun?
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's see here. So let's go to, this is Deuteronomy 18:18 through 20. No, actually through 21. Actually, no, we can skip that and we can just go to straight to 21. So Moses says, "You may say to yourselves, how can we know when a message has not been spoken by the Lord? If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord does not take place or come true, that message from the Lord has not been spoken, or that message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet has spoken presumptuously, so do not be alarmed." Now we see in Jeremiah, what was it? I think it's Jeremiah 28.
Jeremiah 8, right?
No, not Jeremiah 8:8. That's not what we're getting at, because right now we're talking about the Quran, but we're talking about what the what makes a prophet, right? Actually, can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, because I forgot that I plugged in the actual mic, but I didn't have it on. But in any case, so Jeremiah 28:6, if I remember correctly. Jeremiah 28:6. Let's see here. So this is, I'm setting up the Jewish falsification or positive test for a prophet. So this is Jeremiah 28:6. Jeremiah says, he said, "Amen. May the Lord do so. May the Lord fulfill the words you have prophesied by bringing the articles of the Lord's house and all the exiles back to his place from Babylon." So we have two things, right? So Moses shows the positive claim. If someone makes, I mean, sorry, not the positive, the negative. If someone makes it makes a prediction in the name of God that is incorrect, that person's a false prophet. Jeremiah here is saying that if you are truthful, that your prophecy will come true. So if you make a positive claim and your positive claim comes true, then you are a true prophet. If you make a positive claim and it's false, then you're not a true prophet. Does that make sense to you, Martian?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fantastic, wonderful. So I set that up as a premise because remember it says if someone prophesies something in the name of God and it becomes true, that person is a true prophet. So here's the thing. In the name of Allah, who is Allah? Martian?
God of the Quran.
Okay, fantastic. Wonderful. So I'm establishing that this is who we at least believe is God. So, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, by the heaven and At-Tariq. Now, At-Tariq needs to be defined. Now, we have two of the definitions. This is why I like to do it for my physical Quran, because it already gives us two of the definitions. So, one is the night comer. The second one is the bright star. Now, I already have pulled up, as you can see, I've made a whole separate tab on all of the presentation material. So what is the third meaning? At-Tariq, the masculine Arabic name, meaning night visitor, one who knocks at the door. So the one who does what, Martian?
Knocks at the door.
Okay. So the knocker, right? So let's continue before we dive deeper into that. And what will make you know what At-Tariq is? Now, is that telling you that you will discover something or that you will find this thing? Martian?
Yeah.
It says what will make you know what it is. So is that saying that you're going to find this thing?
I don't really understand the question because it just sounds like it's asking a question of what it's about to explain.
It says, and what will make you know what it is. So it's saying that this thing exists, and it's asking what will make you know what it is.
I help him
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like,
discover, bro.
what's the next part? Like, it's asking a question. Is it gonna?
It's asking
answer
a
it?
question. The question, yeah, it's gonna answer the question. But that's what I'm asking you. I'm trying to establish: is this telling you that you're going to discover this? That this thing is going to be discovered?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Okay, so it's saying that this thing is going to be discovered, right? Wait, just stay unmuted
Yes,
because
yeah.
I'm walking you through this. So I would
Yeah,
like
sorry,
for you
I'm
to
just I've been coughing hella. That's why I'm muting myself.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So you agree that this is telling you that something will happen, right?
Yes.
So this is a prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is the star of piercing brightness. So you will know what At-Tariq is because it is the star of piercing brightness. Now, why do you think this is important? Of piercing, because remember, it's already defined as the bright star, but in the Quran explicitly defines it as the star of piercing brightness. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. Maybe it'll explain in the next
Okay,
verse.
I will show you. Because we have discovered this thing called the pulsar star. Now let me turn this all the way up so you can hear. So can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. So what does that sound like to you?
Like a pulse.
I'm saying, can you remember what the definitions of At-Tariq were?
Oh yeah, sounds like a rod knock. Sounds like a knocking.
Okay. So one, it's a star. Oh, it says that this star is the knocking star. That's point number one. Now, point number two, remember I said that it is not just a star of brightness, it is a star of piercing brightness, right? Now, what does this look like to you?
It do be piercing.
So it looks like a piercing edge, right? Now, here's why this is more significant than even just the bare bones basic of it describing the edge of the star, because pulsars have some of the lowest, if not the lowest luminosity of any star. Like the star itself is not bright at all. You can't see it, right? But these here, these jet emissions are pure radio and gamma radiation. They are not only they are the most powerful radiation that we know of in the known universe. So it is the star not of brightness, but it's the star of piercing brightness, as directly modified in the Quran. Before we move on, do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I understand so far.
Now, here's the thing, right? Now,
Sure.
we've gotten the three definitions. The star piercing brightness. Also, I'll add this one other thing because one of them is the night comer. Now, do you know how these stars are made? Sorry, I put my arm on the mic. Do you know how these stars are made?
I sure don't.
They are made by supernova, right? So basically, what happens is large stars that are not quite large enough to condense into black holes, but are far too large to just blow off their outer shells and become to become just planetary cores. I mean, sorry, not planetary cores, but like solar cores. I'll give you a very, very, very brief physics lesson. So basically, what happens is smaller stars that aren't large enough to go supernova, they blow off their outer shells and they just become planetary cores, just dense materials that's the size of a planet. And the stars that are large enough to go supernova, they'll condense into another material. So they'll go supernova and then they'll condense back into the gravitational center and then they'll try and congeal into something else. Now there's multiple classes of that. One class is neutron stars. Now there's like 4 types of neutron stars, but I'll just explain 2 of them. So we have pulsars and what was the other ones? Pulsars and quasars. Those are the 2 main types of neutron stars. Now a quasar is a star that was large enough to condense into a black hole, but not stable enough to retain all of its mass, i.e., it has one singular jet. It has a jet, but it has one singular jet, and it's not classified technically as a star because it's closer to a black hole than it is to a neutron star. And so this is all kind of all physics jargon, but this right here is the only of these neutron stars that fits the star piercing brightness and all that other stuff. But I say that to say, when they blast like this, they clear out their solar neighborhood. So all 3 definitions are accurate, not only accurate, but precise, because these stars are created inherently by supernovae, and they inherently have to clear out their solar neighborhoods. So there isn't anything around these stars. The only known exception I can think of is where 2 stars that were a binary system exploded and they made 2 neutron stars that orbit each other, which is the only exception. And so the only exception to this, these being solitary stars, is when there's two of these and there's only one instance of that. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay. So we have all 3 definitions. Now let's see, when was the pulsar star discovered? Can you look at, what does that say on the screen?
November 28th, 1967.
Fantastic, wonderful. So like 70 years ago. So actually that's younger. My grandmother is 27 years older than this discovery. So let's continue. Actually, my mother is older than this discovery. So in any case, let's just look up how they discovered this. They discovered this via radio spectroscopy. Now let's look up what radio spectroscopy is. Radio spectroscopy is. Radio spectroscopy is an astronomical and analytical technique that detects and analyzes. What does that say?
Radio frequency.
And
electromagnetic radiation.
So this is advanced technology, right? You have to have modern society to look this up. So you can't just say, oh, these guys were astronomers, right? Actually, well, we'll continue. The 3 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz from atoms and molecules. So You have to even know atoms and molecules, which the Quran does actually mention atoms, by the way. But we'll continue. That's another thing for another day. It is used to identify chemical composition, measure temperature, and analyze Doppler shifted velocities of cold interstellar dust clouds and
Stars.
fantastic, wonderful, and younger stars. So let's actually add something because I thought of something. And wait, hold on. Yeah, I lost my train of thought on that. So I'll just continue and see if it comes back to me. So the thing that's next. When was the pulsar first mapped? Right. So that was how we discovered it. Right. We discovered it by radio spectroscopy. But this is when we actually first saw one. Right? Like actually saw an image of one. So when was the
like they mapped its location?
Yes. Well, the surface of one. So both they found one to map, and they mapped the surface of it. So now I remember. Hold on.
I remembered.
Yeah. See, I'm glad. So that's what it was. So let's look up, because remember I was talking about advanced technology. What do you think that this is, Martian?
To me, it's kind of blurry, but it kind of looks like a radar and like a radar dish on the ground or something.
So it's a radio telescope. And for context, hold on. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to zoom out a little bit. This around it is a mountain. So this is built into the caldera. Do you know what a caldera is?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So this is built into the caldera of a mountain. So I'm sure you can. I'm sure that you can understand the sheer size and scope of this, right? So
yep, absolutely.
Yes. So let's go back to when it was mapped. This was mapped. Hold on one second. Let me reload the page because it's. Why does it keep showing? Oh, okay. I just exit out. Okay. So the surface was mapped when?
2019.
Fantastic, wonderful. Now the issue with this, and I will get into this in a second, but I'll continue the. Actually, you know what? I can continue with this line. And this is something that's going to be a little bit less concrete. But remember, the original question you were asking was about 5 through 7, right? The backbone and the ribs thing. But I wanted to start it here, and the reason why I wanted to start it here is because remember, I told you I believe that this right here is the most potent. Wait, hold on. The most potent overall prophecy of the entire world. Now, this right here, what we're going into is my own personal exegesis. You won't really see another scholar saying this, but this is just my personal opinion. So, I mean, I guess if you want to take it with a grain of salt, you can, but I'll go into this now. So, now that we've established that the first prophecy came true, which, as per Deuteronomy 18:21, would already make the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam a true prophet. So the burden is already gone from us, technically. But I'm going to address specifically what you asked, although we've already proved our burden. So let's continue with what you were asking about. So there is no human being but has a protector over him. So let's read this out of the context of the tafsir, because I personally take this as it saying that this star is something that cannot be guarded against. So there is no human being but has a protector over him. Because remember how I told you that that's the most potent gamma ray radiation in the entire known universe?
Yeah.
So physicists say that if there was any of these pulsars that were in our cosmic neighborhood, and if they ever had pointed at us in any way, shape, or form, it would annihilate the atmosphere. It would wipe out the planet Earth in an infant, like you couldn't even fathom how short of amount of time it would take to wipe out all life on Earth if one of these was anywhere near us. So, in any case, let's continue. So, let man see from what he was created. Now, I'll point out here that it doesn't say semen or sperm or any type of thing like that, which is why what Christians that try to interpret this say. But I will tell you my own personal interpretation, because I personally take the interpretation that it is semen, not sperm. Now, most people don't know the difference, so I'll explain the difference. So let man see what he's created. He is created from a water gushing forth. Now, do you know what the difference between semen and sperm is?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you know that sperm. What do you know where semen is created?
I just assumed they're testes.
No, they're
There's
not.
glands inside the testes.
No. So let's just look it up. I'll show you.
Sure.
So images. So the seminal vesicle is where the semen is produced. Now, the seminal vesicle is like around here, right? So this is where the semen is produced. And what is this?
It's the back,
Sure,
the lower back.
Fantastic, wonderful. So the backbone is basically just like archaic language referring to like the spine. So as long as it's somewhere around the spine, then it already hits the backbone and the ribs. Although I personally take the interpretation that this is like like medical language, because if you talk to a doctor, they're not going to tell you, oh, XYZ organ is in like some specific place, because all human bodies are different. They're going to have slight variations in the location. So in medical language, you see that it's going to be found in a general location or general locality, rather than, oh, it's behind the heart or it's behind the lungs or it's XYZ here. Does that make sense to you?
Sure. That makes
Okay.
sense.
So we know that the backbone and the ribs are static locations, right? Now, as you can see from the diagram, if you drew a T chart, but from the seminal vesicle, it would be smack dab in the middle of the male anatomy. So in every possible sense, every single possible sense, from the X, Y, and Z coordinates of a male's human body, it would be between the backbones and the ribs by every single metric. So from the top to the bottom, so starting from the head to the toes, it would be smack dab in the middle. If you start from the spine to the stomach, it would be smack dab in the middle. So in every possible metric, it is between the backbones and the ribs by every XYZ axis.
I see what you're saying,
but
I don't necessarily agree.
I mean,
But
you don't
that's
have
fine.
to.
That's your interpretation.
But
so
yeah, I mean that's my like I said, that's my interpretation. Because remember, this doesn't actually say sperm or anything like that in the actual verse. So like I could just invoke Abdul. I'm sure you would know. What's the line that says some of the verses are clear, some of them not so clear? The ones that have deviant hearts will
Chapter
attach.
3, verse 4, I think.
Wait, what is it?
Chapter 3, go to the beginning of chapter 3.
Yeah. So 3. So we'll get right back to this. And this is not necessarily what I'm invoking, but I'm just saying for the sake of just showing this information.
Sure.
What is it? You said 3:4. Yeah, aforetime as a guidance to mankind, and he sent down the criterion. Truly, those who believe in the ayat, the proof, evidence, verses, lessons, signs, revelations of Allah, for them is a wait, hold on. Oh, for those who disbelieve, sorry. There's a wait, I don't think that's the one.
فيه آيات محكمات. Yeah.
Wait, hold on one second.
I think chapter 4. Go to chapter 4.
Chapter 4. So chapter 4. Actually, I'll just look it up so we don't keep bouncing around. Okay, so let's see here.
Let me go to chapter 4. Hold on.
Let's see here. Surat Al-Imran 7. So let's see.
Yeah.
3-7. So I'll just read it off of this one because mine has a bunch of tafsirs, which makes it a little clunkier to read for the general audience. And for some reason, it's taking 3 hours to load. Let's just press the refresh button.
I'll read it. I'll get
Okay.
it. Hold on a second.
That laptop CPU, man.
Oh no! Like the thing is, I have like 4 mega. I mean, not 4
Allah
gigabytes.
subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "It is He who revealed to you the book. Some of its verses are definitive. They are the foundation of the book, and others are unspecified.
Mhm.
As for those in whose hearts is deviation, they follow the unspecific part, seeking dissent, and seeking to derive an interpretation. But none knows its interpretation except Allah and those firmly rooted in knowledge say, we believe in it, all is from our Lord, but none recollects it except those with understanding."
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like I said, that's not necessarily what I'm invoking here, but like that's just something I could easily just say. It's not clear off of this. It's not clearly stated that this is sperm or anything of the sort. So I don't really have to take that interpretation because that's explicitly what the Quran says. I don't have to take an interpretation on something that's not.
I would say
necessarily
it's
true.
a closer interpretation to the truth, yeah.
Yes,
I would say so.
So yeah, this is my personal interpretation that this is speaking about the seminal vesicles, and the reason why I take that interpretation is because the next thing, because remember I'm doing an exegesis on this as a whole, right? Because we already proved that the first prophecy was just unequivocally true, but I read it as if it's all a prophecy. That's how I personally read it, and the reason why is because it says verily. Now let's take this out because this is in parentheses, so that's from the opinion of the author. So verily is able to bring him back to life, or bring him back. So that
Well,
being said, now
well, the between brackets then makes sense, you know.
yeah, no, the reason why I take out the brackets is because my personal interpretation is that this is a timeline. Because I read this as, remember, it says, what will make you know what Atadic is? I don't think that the prophecy stops at 3. I don't. But remember, I said this is my personal interpretation. I don't believe the prophecy stops at 3. I believe all of this is what happens in the road to finding Atadic. That's my personal interpretation. And I'll tell you why. Because let's look up when we discovered these things. When were the seminal vesicles discovered?
Probus, we need to finish real quick because Malik is asleep and
Yeah. So, seminal vesicles discovered. Let's see here. Identifies the names and structures, provides more detailed descriptions. So the initial discovery was 1521. Now,
so the discovery of the star began at that time.
No. The seminal
1521.
vesicles. No.
Oh, the seminal vesicles.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's go to when was the external defibrillator invented. So, yeah. Okay. The first successful use of an external defibrillator was on a human that occurred in what year, Martian?
1956.
Fantastic, wonderful. And when was Atadic discovered?
November 28, 1967.
Fantastic, wonderful. So if you take this as a reading of things that will occur before you discover Atadic, all of these things align, right? So you have the discovery of the seminal vesicles first. So this is discovered first, as the Quran says. So if you take this as a timeline, the timeline is accurate. All of these things are discovered exactly in the order that they appear in the Quran. Is that correct or incorrect?
Mhm.
Marsha?
Oh,
So these things are discovered in the
Uh.
correct order, right? So if we take this as the seminal vesicles are discovered first, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So seminal vesicles are discovered first. And then bringing people back to life, that's discovered when?
The defibrillators, you said 56.
56. And then atotic is found when?
6, 7.
6, 7. But in any case, so all of these
Oh my God.
things progress in order, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic, wonderful. Now the reason why, and like I said, this is going into my own personal exegesis. But let's see here. Remember how I said that this would be an important date to know? Oh, also,
Yeah.
let me look up one more thing.
Yeah, I remember.
So, let's see here.
I wish I could pin this comment.
So, then when all the secrets, deeds, prayers, fasting, etc. will be examined, then he will have no power nor any helper. By the sky which gives rain again and again, and the earth which splits, verily this is the word that separates the truth from the falsehoods, and the commandments strict laws to cut the roots of evil. And it is not a thing for amusement. Verily they are plotting a plot, and I too am plotting a plot. So give respite to the disbelievers and leave them for a while. Now, the reason why I read all the way to the end is because the mark of the start of the information age, as we know it, the invention of the internet starts in what year?
1969.
The precursor to the internet was established. So 1967, remember, all of these things are in order. So 1967 is when Atotic is discovered. So after all of these signs are discovered, we find Atotic in 1967, almost all in rapid succession, one after the other, in perfect sequence. So the Quran gets the sequence of all these things correct. It gets the time of all these things correct. And all of them are pretty much spot on in when these things happen. Now, here's where it gets into my theory, right? So if we are to read this as a timeline, and I actually love this because, and when the whole Iran thing and the whole Epstein files release thing happened like 8 months ago, I was giddy as a clam. And the reason why I was giddy as a clam is because I was like, I literally read this like a year ago and predicted this all based off of the Quran, and all of it started coming true pretty much literally in order. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But in any case, so all secrets will be examined. So we're examining these secrets after the stars discovered, right? Because it says that we discovered these things first, and then after we discovered these things, the day will come when secrets will be examined. So we already saw the information age starts in 1967, 2 years after the discovery of Atotic, right? Now let's just go to this date right here. Why do you think that this date is significant?
Why, I wonder?
No, we'll do let's see here.
Did COVID start in 2019 or 2018?
2019.
Well, for us, it's 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it came into my country in 22. Yeah. if I remember correctly. Sorry, 21. Yeah, 21.
Okay. So, and like I said, this is going into my own personal sort of exegesis. But what year was Epstein arrested?
2019.
Martian, are you there?
Yeah, 2019.
So Epstein is arrested, and the leak about the Epstein files happens when?
Also 2019.
Interesting. So Epstein is arrested. And like I said, this is going into my own personal interpretation.
Wait, but which month was he arrested, though?
So he's arrested, but the Epstein files, all of that stuff didn't get released until later.
Hmm.
So him being arrested is not the significant event. The Epstein files, the suit for the Epstein files, that comes out much later into him being already arrested.
Okay, so what's the relation here?
Now, like I said, so remember, we're talking about the day the secrets will be examined and that they are plotting a plot, but we too are plotting a plot.
Okay,
Now you get it?
I get it now.
So these secrets are being examined after the discovery of all these things in secession. Do you get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I get it.
So all these things,
The
were
criminals
now-
plot and Allah plots as well.
And now we have the release. After all of these things, we have the initial release of the Epstein files in late 2025, early 2026. All of these things happening secession, all one after the other, pretty much perfectly how the Quran describes it, and at the exact same time where all of these things, after all of these signs come. Because remember, I told you, I personally believe that the prophecy about At-Tadic, remember, I said I read it holistically. I don't believe that is just describing the prophecy about the star. That would already be enough. But if we are to read it in the way that this is all one large prophecy, all of it comes true, and all of it happens in perfect precision with each other. All of the events happen pretty much all of them happen within like a year or two of each other, if not at the pretty much simultaneously, because the discovery of this happens between 2018 and 2019, because they first started gathering images in 2018 and they finished the image in December of 2019. That's when they finished the image. So while this is happening, Epstein is getting raided. So the case,
and there are many secrets to come to be uncovered, and many criminals will be exposed. And
so we are living this right now. We are currently living this. This is a prophecy we are currently living, and arguably this is about the end time. So we are currently living the greatest prophecy in the entire Quran right now. And matter of fact, me taking the idea that this is the end time, the next two surahs are about the end times. These next two are about the end times, where the good will end up at the end times on the day of judgment, and where the bad will end up.
Surah Al-A'la, Surah Al-Ghashiyah.
So there's strong evidence to say that this right here is talking about the end times. And what is the Epstein regime trying to do right now? They're trying to bring on Armageddon. So this war in Iran, they explicitly say that this is a holy war they're trying to use to bring about the end of day. That's what they're doing
I
right now.
I would say a prelude.
I
would say a prelude to that, Armageddon.
Yeah, well, they are trying to start the end of the world. They explicitly say that. So
everything the blue state is doing, it is a prelude to.
Yeah. So that being said, all of these things are happening in the context of the things that are happening now. All of these things have happened in rapid succession.
And that just shows you, Martian, that this book, Quran, is indeed from God, the creator of the universe.
So, Martian,
and that Muhammad is true.
So I think that we have successfully proved, beyond the shadow of a doubt, our burden of saying that the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a true prophet. I think we've done that a long time ago. I think we did that almost an hour ago with the Tadic. Because by biblical standards, at least, like if the person makes a prophecy in the name of God and it comes true, they're a prophet. That's the simple standard. But I'm sure that with the overwhelming evidence, that I don't know how you would deny that. And
What do you think, Martin? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's interesting, and I think that it's like it's very interesting to hear you explain your point of view. Um, I'm not in a position to say that it's wrong at all, right? Like, uh, but I also maybe I try to tie it with some things that you were saying before with other guests, where you want them to like exactly say certain things verbatim out of the text for the Bible in order to prove
Could you hold on a Martian? Martian? Probus, your headphone is very echoey.
oh wait, hold on. Is it better?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Still echoing.
Oh wait, hold on.
Like I can hear myself.
Oh, okay. That's because I think I had the ear pod like too close to it. But go on. Can you hear me? Can you hear it better now?
Yeah, go ahead, Martian. Oh my god, I'm still hearing myself.
Yeah, just let me know if I need to repeat anything. All right.
Oh no. Go ahead and say your piece on it. Go say your piece.
Sure. I'll just start from where I left off. I wasn't going to say much more. I just remember kind of what you were saying to the other guests about wanting them to say verbatim in Paul's gospel, like certain things in order to prove an argument. So while what you're saying is interesting, what stops me, I guess, from being like, why don't they just say certain things verbatim? But on the other hand of that, I understand that that's not necessarily a honest argument because like words and the way people understood things, I guess the genre was different then than it is now. The same way they don't say things the same way that we say them. It wouldn't be fair for me to be like, well, why didn't the author of the Quran say pulsar star? Well, why would they? Or why would someone who's giving a revelation say that? Because that just wasn't what how they saw things. So I can see both ends of it, but I still don't think that it is enough for me to say that, hey, yes, it is from God, just because of maybe it's my own predisposition to what I already believe based off of what I know. Maybe I just don't know enough yet. Maybe I know enough for what I want to believe. I don't know. I'm not trying to be dishonest or anything. I'm just letting you know what I think.
I mean, I'll say this, right? Because the issue with the thing about it saying certain things verbatim from the text, that's because the text said that it had to be that. So it wasn't me saying, oh, it has to, every single thing said in the Bible has to be verbatim. I never made that argument. I said that Paul explicitly says that this has to be what that this is what has to be the case, and if anyone says anything different, so it explicitly says that it has to be verbatim. So I wasn't the one making that argument. So, but I would find it hard pressed for you to find any prophecy in the Bible that's even remotely close to as clear or precise in any possible way as what I've just showed you. I showed you that these events, that this succession of events happen not only in perfect order, but in perfect succession. So I mean, I don't know how somebody could deny that at that point, because all of these things I could see if I was just speaking out of my bungus, my booty cheeks, and just saying, oh, these things are just randomly associated with each other. They happen perfectly in sync, literally, like just perfectly in sync within 5 years at the largest gap being basically 5 years, and then everything else pretty much happening like either like a year or two later, or within the same time frame. So all of these things coming true. So I mean, I don't know what the verbatim thing would be. I don't know what you would be asking for verbatim, because it did give a verbatim description of the star. So like there is no such thing as it has to say XYZ verbatim, because it actually does verbatim say what the description of it is. And to say that a name that comes later, like if it's a prophecy, why would you name it anyway? Like why would you try and say, oh, it's gonna be XYZ modern name? The name now is a pulsar star. In 1,000 years they might call it something else. So how would you give a name to something that people can just very easily change? That doesn't make sense, Martian. And
Yeah,
I know
that's
you
why.
know that
That's
doesn't
why.
make sense.
Yeah, that's why I was acknowledging that it wasn't a like an honest argument.
Okay.
I was acknowledging that I couldn't say that because it was a dishonest argument. That's what I meant.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. So like, I mean, I think that you have some things to think about, like some things, because like again, I've already proven the burden. I think that you acknowledge I proven the burden, because all the Bible says is if somebody makes a true prophecy, they're a prophet. We've already proved, at least by a biblical standard, that the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a true prophet. We've already done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely given me a lot of things to think about, and I will. I'll definitely be doing some reading, and I'll probably be popping in a lot more often just to like see what's going on. You know, you
Yeah.
guys have been awesome to talk to. So
Thank you, bro. You too.
problem.
You too.
Go ahead and follow
Follow,
the panel, bro.
follow.
And just-
Yeah, follow Malik. Follow Probus. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you guys having me up to talk for so long, and yeah, thank you for kind of what is the word for it? Imparting a lot of this information.
No problem.
No problem, brother.
All right, I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man. You have a good
Alrighty.
one, bro. I'll add you back, and
You-
if you have
you too.
questions, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Take care, guys.
You too.
Take care of yourself. All right, Probus.
Yeah, it's time for us to hit the old dusty trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
What time is it for you? Are you supposed to be asleep?
No. I woke up like 4 hours ago.
Oh,
I
you
woke up
know,
at like. Oh, go ahead.
this live has been going on for 14 hours.
14?
Yep.
Dang. I
Because
woke
right
up.
now it's 5. Because right now it's 5:15 p.m. for me. This stream started like 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m.
4 to 5. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because for me, I woke up in my time at like 4:30 a.m. and I got in the live not too shortly after, but I didn't come up. I went and walked my dog and I went eat and all kinds of stuff. So
What time is it for you right now?
10:16
A.m.?
Yeah. So I woke up like 5.5 hours. Yeah, 5.5 hours ago. Yeah.
I
So
see.
yeah. So
All right.
yeah, I don't know how we're gonna end the live, but because
Unless we have to shout his name.
honestly, I think that we just drop and just like I don't know. I don't know. Because normally it like times out by now, because I don't know if Malik has something going on in the background that's making it not do that. Because normally after like 30 or 40 minutes of inactivity, the live does that, the little captcha thing.
Yeah.
It makes you have to do the capture, and if you don't do it within like 5 minutes, it shuts the live down. So I don't know why it's taking so long.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Probus.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You take care of yourself, brother.
You too, bro.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.